grantha-kṛte namaḥ. Grantha-kṛte, one who elucidates the scriptures, means through his commentaries he makes the scriptural understanding more and more lucid, more and more clear. I also teach and make your understanding very clear, isn't it? That one capacity I got. After I teach, everything becomes clear. You understood what I'm trying to hint. So, imagine Gurudev's literature, how much vast ocean. So, that too, and Gurudev himself explains, he very clearly tells us, read my discourses and be one with me in my thoughts. Be one with me in my thoughts. You will be transported into my world of joy and peace. That's what Gurudev's commentary does to us. And for the scriptural unfoldment, we have to know the 3 R's. What are the 3 R's? Reading, writing, arithmetic. Those also 3 R's. The 3 R's are read, reflect, and realize. Read, reflect, and glide to realize. These are the 3. And I have selected about 10 books of Gurudev. If we can, in our lifetime, if we can read these 10 books, it's more than enough, but do not limit yourself. If you're enjoying these, you can enjoy much more. So the 10 books, the first book we have to read is read, reflect, and be established in it, is Self-Unfoldment. That's the first book we have to read. You need not write down, because there are 10 books I'm going to give. So if you want to know, you email me, I'll email the 10 books. So first book is Self-Unfoldment. But before you buy it, please check your shelf. It may be there in your shelf. The book Self-Unfoldment might be already on your shelf. Only thing you have to do is shelf unfoldment. Isn't it? First book. Second book is Kindle Life. Kindle Life is, remember every Sunday I tell, with a quiet, alert, vigilant mind, let us invoke the grace and blessings of the Lord and Shri Gurudev to kindle the light of knowledge. Kindle Life, the second book. Third book, Meditation in Life. Even these 3 books we have read, then we must read, we must. There's a book, Gurudev's book called We Must. Very thought-provoking for divine. It instills a lot of inspiration. We must. The 4th book. 5th book, the Holy Gita. Holy Gita, not just the verses. The commentary is more important than just the verses. For children up to the age of 15, chanting and memory is good enough. Up to 15. After 15, because as Pinocchio was saying that he has all those in memory. Only once he studied, he's a ekapati maybe. So at the young age, if you study, it becomes in memory. You can't forget it. So up to 15, recitation and remembering. After 15, reflection and trying to establish in it. That's what we should try. So main is commentary. Holy Gita. Holy Gita has how many verses? 700 generally, but with Arjuna's question becomes 701, 701. Then comes Viveka Chudamani. This is Shankara's beautiful work. We need not even go to Upanishads, but one Upanishad we should study. But Viveka Chudamani, if we study, it gives a key to open the Upanishads and every Vedantic idea. Viveka Chudamani has how many verses? 581 verses. These two, Holy Gita and Viveka Chudamani, Gurudev has done that how many times? So these two books we should be very, very particular. I am thinking that once I've done once Viveka Chudamani, but again I feel like doing it. Now I am doing Taittiriya Upanishad. So maybe if I complete Taittiriya Upanishad, then again I can start Viveka Chudamani. 581 verses. Gita and Viveka Chudamani should go together. Very glorious. Then, Kena Upanishad, or called Keno Upanishad. I didn't say Keno Upanishad because you may misunderstand, because Keno, K-E-N-O, it is Keno. But you may read it as Keno. Keno, do you know what is Keno? What is Keno? Because I see on the roads when See? So you are very familiar with that. So I don't want to say Keno Upanishad. It is Kena Upanishad. Kena Upanishad. When you join Kena plus Upanishad, becomes Keno Upanishad. That one Upanishad you have to. And Gurudev's DVD also is there. See, not only he gave us the books, if you want to read, but Swamiji, I am not that good in, I don't enjoy reading audio. Swamiji, I want to see also DVD. What all he has given us, what excuse do we have? No excuse. So, audio, for reading, for audio visual, all he has given us. So, Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. But many Upanishads are there, and Gurudev has given commentary for 9 Upanishads. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitareya, Taitareya, Kaivalya. 9 Upanishads. But Kena, that is the first Upanishad I listened to Gurudev, and that attracted me to him. Kena Upanishad. Number 7 is Kena Upanishad. Number 8, the Prakaranas, the fundamental texts. Atmabodha, Bhaja Govindam. Muda. When he said first time Muda, I thought he's saying model. I heard less model. You are the model. Not bad. He's saying you are the model. Then when he said Vimudha, then I understood. So Bhaja Govindam, Mudha Mate, he says. Very beautiful verse. So Atmabodha, A, and B, Bhaja Govindam. Then Gurudev was always on wheels and wings. Wheels are car and wings the plane. Even on wings and wheels, people did not give him relaxation. They questioned him there also. So there's a book called On Wings and Wheels, question answer session. Beautiful book. And the final 10th one is Satsanga. Satsanga is a Mananam issue. Who takes care of the books for morning? So please plan. I can email you this. So So those who want any of these, please contact Dharmaraj, then he can order that many books. If not, we can't store all here. So on wings and wheels, and satsang. Satsang, I don't know whether it is there or not. So mananam, question answers. And it has been edited well. That's the beauty of satsang. So these are the 10 books. If we can, not only you read, you recommend it to your children and friends. If any gift you want to give for their unfoldment, this is the best. They may not like it, but you can write a note. You may not like it now. Eventually you will appreciate me, and then when you appreciate me, then come and meet me. That way you can write a note. So grantha-kṛte namaḥ, so many literature he has left for us. Grantha also reminds us of the word granthi. Grantha, granthi. Granthi means, what is granthi? Hindi, what they call? Granthi. Knot. Knot को क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? Knot जी. गांठ. गांठ. गुजराती. गांठ छे. मराठी. गांठ. Tamil. Mudi. Mudi, no? Mudi. Mudi also okay, no? Enough for me, Mudi. Mudichi and all is very tough for me. Yeah, this also, I know, double meaning. I like double meanings always. Double meanings are more, Kallakanda, Nayakanam, Nayakanda, Kallakanam. So many meanings are there, like that. Double meaning. Good. So, granthi means knot. Knot means, when the thread you put a knot. You might have remembered in your first day, before you are entering into, you put 3 knots. This side or this side? I don't remember. I don't know. I saw some would-be husbands when they tie that time itself. I said, what happened? Why is he so shivering? Then now only I realize why the hand shivered at that time. So the 3 knots, in our hridaya there is 3 knots, granthi. And the grantha does bhidyate hridaya granthi. The grantha, the scriptures, with the help of the Guru, cuts asunder the 3 knots. What are the 3 knots? See, the knot is a very beautiful word in English. Knot is actually not. K-N-O-T is actually N-O-T. K-N-O-T not is N-O-T not. But appears. See, when the thread, when you put a knot, you say, what is this? You show somebody. What will anybody say? Will they say thread or knot? Thread? Knot. Depends where, what. That knot also is thread. But we see knot, which is not there. It's only thread. But when you untie the knot, you say, oh, thread. See the difference? Even when the knot is there, to see the thread in the knot is a vision. So, these 3 knots are not there. What are the 3 knots? Avidya. Avidya means knowledge. The absence of it, because you smiled so to absence of knowledge. Avidya. Because of the avidya, next one is kama. Kama, desire. And that kama precipitates into karma. Avidya, kama, karma. These are the three knots of the heart. Ignorance, avidya, kama, desire, ignorance-born desire, and desire-born actions. But in between there's one also we should imagine as vikshepa. Vikshepa means thought agitation. So these three knots cuts asunder. That's the glory of the Guru. And these Gurudev told very beautiful story how the knot is not. Do you remember the story of the three mules? Thank God. Because I prepared the story, and if you know the story and all, yes, we know. The children spoiled my summer camp. The moment I say the story, I know this, they jump like anything. So then I said, no, not that story. And the name is the same, but then I add more masala, and the end only, same thing Swamiji you said, but new masala. So the other children will enjoy. So some kids are there, they remember very much. And they come and tell me, Swamiji, this you told 4 years ago. Good, your memory is good. So, the story of three mules. This South Indian has three mules and he moved to Uttarakasi. Very rare South Indians are there in high above the mountains. Because whenever you go to Uttarakasi, Siddhabari and all, if you see any with the Madhya Pradesh and all, understand, you ask, are you from South India? You can ask. You say, yes, how did you know? When did you come? Last week or few weeks? Yeah, a few weeks only I came. Now I know. Because they're constantly climbing up and down. So they cannot have Madhya Pradesh. They are in Uttar Pradesh. This South Indian, he had three mules. And since he's a South Indian, and he loves the mules, and he named them South Indian names. We all named our own pets. The first one he named as Bala Tripura Sundari. First mule. Second mule, Tripura Sundari. And the third mule, Sundari. Who are the three mules? See, what a memory. Look at your memory. So, Bala Tripura Sundari, and Sundari. Three mules. And he used to, on the back of the mule, the mules they have firm footing on the mount. When you go to Grand Canyon and all, who takes you? Who gives you the ride? It's only the mules. Because their footing is very firm. So, on the back of the mule, bag is put to contain. In Uttarakasi, they have slates for roof. They put the slates. So those slates are put in the bag, and he'll transport the stone slates to the families on the mountain tops. So first he has to go to collect the slates and go through a forest to meet the families and give the slates. So one day, as usual, because every day this is his chore, his activity. So he filled up the bags of three mules, Bala Tripura Sundari, he filled all the slates and he was taking them through the forest. He reaches the families, delivers the slates. And then by the time he was returning, it was already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So when he's returning, suddenly the clouds gathered, thunderstorm. And for 3 continuous hours, torrential rains. He has to stay under a tree. He could not move. So somehow he was controlling the mules and all. And then he was under the tree. 3 hours pass, it becomes dark. And in the dark to go through the forest is dangerous. So he thought, is there any where I can rest for the night? And at a distance he saw a light. When he saw the light at a distance, a lamp light, he thought there must be somebody there, so he can go there. So in the direction of the light he went, and he saw a small hut, a hermitage like. He knew some sage must be living there. So he goes inside and he saw the sage and he asked, Swamiji, can I stay here because rain, I got caught up in the forest? Can I stay for the night here? This room was very small. So Swamiji said, if you have to stay here, I have to go out. So, but, no, Swamiji, not inside. I want to stay in the veranda outside. Can I stay in the veranda outside? And Swamiji said, to stay in the veranda, you need not even ask me. You are most welcome to stay. Then he thought, okay, and he went out and he could find the feed for the mules. He fed the mules. And after feeding them, he wanted to tie them and generally at his home, he ties the mule and makes them sit down. Once the mule sits down, it will never get up till the next day. So, first he went to mule number 1. Bala Tripura Sundari. And then in the bag there is a peg with rope. He takes the peg with the rope, unwinds the rope from the peg and takes a stone, drives the peg to the earth and ties one end of the rope to the peg and another end of the rope to BTS. Bala Tripura Sundari, BTS. Yeah, not BTW, BTS. And Bala Tripura Sundari, BTS, sits down. Then he goes to TS. Takes the peg and the rope, unwinds it, takes a stone, bangs it to the earth, ties one end to the peg, another end to TS, Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari also sits down. Then he goes to Sundari. Sundari is a very rajasic mule. And his favorite also. So, because in the storm, it got restless and it threw away its peg somewhere. And searches for the peg with the rope, it is not there. And he asks, where is your peg? And Sundari looks at him. Then he doesn't know how to do it. So I thought, at least I'll make it sit down. It may not stand. And Sundari. And Sundari was looking, why don't you tie me first? Then he thought there's no use, so he went inside the hut to meet the Swamiji. He said, Swamiji, do you have a peg? Swamiji said, I don't drink. No, Swamiji, I didn't mean that peg, I meant the nail. Or at least do you have a rope? Do you have at least rope? Swamiji said, I only talk about rope and snake. I don't keep rope. But I can give you hope. But why do you want? Swamiji said, I have 3 mules. I carry peg and rope with them. So I tied the first 2 mules with the rope and peg. I tied them. But my 3rd mule, Sundari, is very rajasic and it has lost its peg and rope. Then the Swamiji says, don't worry, take a peg and drive the peg into the earth. And then take a rope and tie the rope to the peg. And then tie it to the Sundari and ask, it will sit down. Swamiji, this man thought, these Swamis, I don't know what, vitamin deficiency, I think some vitamin D deficiency. I just now told I don't have a peg, I don't have a rope. And he says, take a peg. He said, Swamiji, I don't have a peg and rope. And Swamiji says, I know that you don't have, but take a peg. And then drive the peg into the earth and tie the rope to the peg and the mule. And it will sit down. Says, Swamiji, can't you understand? Tamil la solnama. Should I tell in Tamil? Then Swamiji says, okay, I'll explain to you better. Think. Take a pegless peg and take a stoneless stone and drive the pegless peg with the stoneless stone into the earth, and take a ropeless rope and tie the ropeless rope to the pegless peg. One end of the ropeless rope to the pegless peg, and the other end of the ropeless rope you tie it to, not a muleless mule, to Sundari. And it will sit down. Swamiji, will it work? It will work. So he went, and he was as though taking from the Sundari's bag the pegless peg and the rope. He unwound the ropeless rope and then took a stoneless stone, and he was giggling. He was looking at Sundari and giggling also whether it will know or, and he drove the pegless peg with the stoneless stone into the earth, and then took the ropeless rope and tied the ropeless rope to the pegless peg, one end of it, and the other end of the ropeless rope he tied to the mule. And then it sat down. And Sundari was like, why didn't you do this earlier? Sundari was as though mentioning. And he went inside. And Mahatma said, I have my bhiksha, you can also join me. They both had the bhiksha. Then sat down. And night they had some meditation and he slept. Next day early morning he got up at 5. And he thought, I should not disturb the Mahatma. Let me silently go. So he slowly started walking, and he went to first mule, Balat BTS, pulled out the peg and then wound the rope to the peg and put it in Bala Tripura Sundari's bag, and Bala Tripura Sundari got up fresh. Then he went to TS, pulled the peg, wound the peg, put in the bag. Tripura Sundari also got up. Then he went to Sundari. Sundari has no peg. Sundari, Endri, he said. Endri means, get up, get up. And Sundari was looking, why don't you untie me first? He got angry. Get up! He started beating. He said, why? The Sundari said, untie me first. Then he remembered that Swamiji, he told me something. Maybe he did some jadoo. He did some jadoo and maybe he wants my Sundari. He runs to the Mahatma and falls at his feet. Oh, Swamiji, please give my Sundari back. Swamiji said, I don't have your Sundari. No, Swamiji, please. You told yesterday and my Sundari is not getting up now. How did the other two get up? Oh, I pulled the peg, tied it, and they got up. Why don't you do the same thing to Sundari? But Swamiji, Sundari has no peg. I know it. Remember I told you yesterday, remove the pegless peg and then wind the ropeless rope to the pegless peg and put it, and then Sundari will get up. But Swamiji, my problem is, I don't know yesterday where I hit the peg. Doesn't matter, anywhere you pull out. You pull out anywhere. So he goes there and sits down looking at Sundari and then goes very near and then pulls out the pegless peg and then winds the ropeless rope and then puts the ropeless rope and the pegless peg into, and Sundari got up fresh and looking as though accusing him, why are you ill-treating me like this? I am your favorite. Now, when the story is so beautiful, isn't it? The ropeless rope is what is our ropeless identification. That invisible rope is the invisible identification with the not self. It is not there. But like Sundari, we feel it. Invisible identification. So what the Guru does is, the invisible rope he tries to remove. And when it is removed, we feel, my Guru released me. And when we really realize that, we understand this knot was not there. Only when I wake up from the dream, I realize the dream was not there. But as long as I am dreaming, I feel very real. I don't feel it is surreal. It is very real. So, one who cuts asunder the knot, the Gordian knot is ignorance, desire, agitation, action. So, he unties the knot. So, with the help of grantha, the granthi is cut. So, grantha-kṛte namaḥ. Om grantha-kṛte namaḥ.